All right. Good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. And as you know, this week we are here at 2023 CES. And if you're taking a look at the title, I do have a terrific guest on tap for you guys. I want to welcome MACA's Christian Pineau. Let me bring him on. Christian, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm
Absolutely.
Christian Pineau. I'm actually the CEO of MACA, and I'm going to talk to you about a wonderful adventure.
All right. Well,
So,
excellent.
you
Well,
want me to
just to
present
start
MACA
off,
right now?
well, first to start off, Christian, how has CES been thus far?
Wow, this has been finally the CES we were waiting for again after 2020, which had been absolutely amazing. 2021 being digital, and as you know, I would say a failure. Let's put it that way. And 2022 with Omicron being totally canceled pretty much at the last second, it was a pretty difficult way to. This is a comeback. Let's put it that way, and a beautiful one for that matter. Thousands of people yesterday. We had groups of people in front of our booth, one after the other. Everybody very excited. I mean, we're back to life. Let's put it that way. And CS has already been very, very big, but this year it's huge. So great day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's dive right in, shall we? We can see it right behind you. You're here at CES to talk about the first hydrogen powered flying race car. That is so awesome. So, can you hop right in and just, talk to us about it?
Absolutely. As you can see behind me, this is what we're talking about. And as you said, this is the first hydrogen powered flying racing car. It's actually a Formula One for the air. Okay, let's put it that way. It was born at Airbus. As you know, Airbus has two divisions, one which is aircraft, the other one helicopter. Helicopter is in the south of France, in Marseille. And some of the engineers at Airbus decided it would be a great idea to test out what we could do in terms of engineering for what we call VTOL, which is vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, and also start the next generation of hydrogen powered machines. So we started this beautiful project in 2019. We actually created the first third scale model a year later. It worked beautifully. And as you know, a year later was also when COVID struck everybody on the planet, and specifically the aircraft industry and the airline industry. At this point, Airbus thought, wow, it might be good for us to go back to our roots. And they decided to give us a chance to actually create what we call a spin off. And MACA was born. So MACA was born actually in November 2020. The beautiful machine you see behind me is basically 5 meters long. It's 650 pounds. It's actually have a pilot on board. We can't see it here, but maybe if I put my finger there, you'll see that there's a little helmet inside here, and that helmet is for
Yes.
the pilot, like the driver of Formula One. And actually, you can see also there's a halo on top of it, which is the protective side actually on it, like you have in Formula One today. The seat also is a capsule, like in Formula One. So there's very similar things that take us back to Formula One versus aircraft per se. Now this is going to run at about 155 miles per hour. It actually has an anti-collision system. So for those of you who are eventually thinking, we're going to see big crashes like in Star Wars Episode One, no, sorry about that, but it'll be fun to watch anyway. And also, we're very, very proud to announce that it is totally sustainable because it's 85% recyclable. I'd like to say also that one of our
Awesome.
main partners on this project, yeah, you want me to continue? I just wanted to say that,
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
I
Can you?
just want to say
Yes.
that one of our main partners on the project is Red Bull. Red Bull Advanced Technology, which is the consulting firm, engineering firm working for Red Bull Racing. As you know, Red Bull has been the world champion in Formula One for the past 2 years. They also are the number one in any extreme sports. So we're very, very proud to have them on board. With also another big partner, international partner, which is called Singular Technology. So with all those partners, the Airbus background and all this, and all the engineering, basically knowledge that we have around all these aircraft, I think we're going to do something really cool. So basically, you're going to see the start of racing in 2025. And before that, the final prototype with hydrogen fuel cell should be ready by the end of 2024.
Wow, outstanding, outstanding stuff. So, in commenting further about that, as you said, we are, let's see, about 2 years away from this, completely being a reality. So, can you talk a bit, just briefly, about, kind of I guess you could say, the rev up, so to speak, to ensure that you have the vehicles, ready to go? Because right now we just have the prototype,
Right,
as you were mentioning,
right.
but having, the vehicles necessary to make these races possible.
Absolutely. So basically, as you know, any company needs cash to move forward. I actually pulled a lot of cash on my own. I mean, I pulled about $500,000 in the adventure, and a lot of other people did too. Now we are actually at the phase where we're actually funding the company a little bit more. I had really very interesting discussions in the past couple of weeks with large investors. We're talking billionaires who love motorsports, very interested in that space, and are not afraid to invest in something that is not common. Okay, we don't have around today. We don't have the environment. It doesn't exist. So we're creating something completely new, and sometimes it can scare off some of those investors investing in normal software. Everything. Blockchain, the whole cloud system, hardware space. But this is so exciting. A lot of people can knock on our door and say, you know what, we want to be part of the adventure. We want to go forward. So we're raising about $2.53 million as we speak to actually move forward a little bit faster. And what is interesting is we have competitors. We have a competitor in Australia, for example, who's doing also a flying racing car. Now, the difference between them and us is they decided to go entirely with battery, where we go battery and hydrogen. But this is very interesting because together, and I talked to actually their people there, together we're building this championship for the next few years because you can't build a championships all together on your own. Okay, so there's a lot of momentum around this. A lot of people are talking about it right now. There's a lot of interest also for track race owners. We've talked to a lot of those in the Formula One space. We were there actually at the Formula One race in France in the south last July, and we took FIA, and they're extremely interested in launching a brand new sport. It's between car and fly, so it's really exciting. Yeah, so things are moving forward, and I think we're going to be on par, like I said, in 2025 to make this thing happen.
Outstanding. And additionally, when I'm picturing racing as well, there is a great deal, of customization that happens oftentimes too with each of the individual racers, whether stylistically, with how their vehicles
Yep.
look to match, what their personalities are. So can you talk a bit about that? Because right now, as you said, we're still in the, initial stages of just getting it off the ground, but I'm sure you guys are thinking, ahead of allowing, players that freedom to have
All
that
right. Well,
customization piece.
I'm going to be honest with you. We are in the aircraft space also. As much as I like to call it the Formula One of the air, it's still an aircraft. It's a VTOL. It's closer to a huge drone versus like a helicopter. And in that space, customization is something very difficult. The reason is you're going to have to talk about certification at one point. Why do we talk about certification? Because anything that goes in the air has to have to do with regulations and FAA on one time in the US, for example, and
Of course.
ASA, for example, in Europe, and all the regulations in other countries in Asia, etc. So there has to be a kind of guide rule to say, okay, here's what is the minimum necessary to make this thing run in this championship, like it's done exactly in Formula One. Here, the rules of engagement, and here's what the minimum required for you to be able to fly the engine and know the technology that had to be on board to make that happen. We are not do those rules because we can't sell the vehicle and do the rule at the same time. that wouldn't fly, I would say. But there's FIA right now. There could be another big, organization that takes this over and decides every year what the flying car should look like, what it should be technically, and if changes need to be made, technical changes or cosmetic changes like you were talking about, then they would let you know exactly what you can do and how you can do it. I'm not going to say that. They are.
Gotcha. Absolutely. So, I always like to ask this question, Christian, of all of my guests, and it's basically, you're committed, here and have those commitments of promoting, what you have here at the show. However, we're in Vegas. We're also, here at CES. What do you have, scheduled for leisure, perhaps outside of your commitments with the show?
Well, Vegas has been in my heart for a long time. I've lived actually in California for a while, for 15 years, and I came here very, very often. What I love about Vegas is the diversity of entertainment that you have. It's the most diverse entertainment you can get in the world. It's the number one city for Cirque du Soleil. So any type of Cirque du Soleil that you like, I love I love Mystère, and all the other shows from the Beatles, for example, the Love Show, etc. These are beautiful shows. I've seen all of them at least once, if not twice, all of them. And also, I'm a dancer, so I go on dance floors in lounges, for example, where there's like things happening. At the Paris hotel, with the one with the Eiffel Tower, they have a great lounge that I recommend to you in the evening, which is a really, really great band. They have another one in the Mandalay Bay. They have a great band there as well. So if I'm not going to see a show that night or do something else, then I'm going to go out there and just have fun and be on the dance floor.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, just to close us off, I wanted to be able to share for everyone where they can find you. They can find you in Eureka Park in the Venetian at
Correct.
61232.
Thank you.
So Christian, thank you so much. Thank you so much for squeezing in some time, and
Thank you so much.
enjoy the rest of
And
the show.
everyone, you're already in the future. Okay, let's put it that way. Thank you. You want to have a wonderful day. All right. Bye bye.
You too. Bye. All right, the guys, there you guys have it here at 2023 CES. I'm your host, Brandon Troy. I will see you guys soon. Bye.